Hey, what's up, YouTube, Fishtube, and Fishfam? It's yours truly, the ailing Rob with Racing's Natural Aquariums. Yep, that's right, folks. I, too, have got the aquatic experience illness. And it's been kicking my butt for almost a week and a half. So if you hear me starting to sniffle or I don't sound right, just bear with me. At any rate, stay tuned. I've got something to say. Folks, welcome to Racing's Natural Aquariums. Coming to you today with well, we'll just jump right into it. What I've got to say today is about the SCA, the Small Channel Alliance. Now, I know a lot of you guys subscribe to Rack over at The River's Life, and hopefully you've seen the video. If not, go to his channel and check out his video where he talks about the Small Channel Alliance. Don't have my green bandana on to kind of show that I'm one of the founding members that Rack had chosen, along with Susie from Q Aquatics, Don from New York Gold, Elizabeth from One Fish, Two Fish ROC, Victor from V Stag, and there's probably a few other ones that I'm forgetting. And I do apologize, but we got talking at the end of the aquatic experience. We were hanging out, me, Rack, and Joseph Harden from JH Aquatics, and we got talking about the YouTube community, the channels, algorithms, view times, subscribers, all that stuff. And I think that was a big proponent in what Rack thought process was for the SCA. There's so many channels out there. We have so many members of the Fishfam. I've actually watched this family explode over the last 3 years. I've watched little channels become huge channels, or even bigger channels. But there is a darkness that does exist. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Actually, I'll tell you two little stories. The first one is disheartening to me. We're all in this hobby because we love the hobby. We do YouTube videos because we want to share our love and passion for the hobby. So with that being said, it was probably 2 years ago or more, I met a young Fishtuber who basically just hung out and the live streams and chatted, would ask questions. They had nobody to turn to, and they were kind of lost because in their circle where they're from, fish keeping wasn't a big thing. And she was almost trying to think of the right wording here. She was shy and kind of kept it to herself, which is sad, because if you have a passion about something, you should be able to share it, not be ridiculed over it, which is why I think she became so comfortable within the Fishfam, because we don't do that. We support one another. And she finally took the step to start releasing content. Now, the upsetting part to me is, you know, it wasn't polished. It wasn't, you know, high production, crazy editing. It was just somebody who enjoyed the hobby that wanted to say, hey, I'm here. This is what I like. Meet this fish, meet that fish, whatever the case was. But this person is gone. I have not seen them in probably a year. And I don't know if it's due to something changed in their life, or they didn't think they were being accepted because they weren't getting views or they weren't getting subscribers. And if that's the case, it's pretty sad. And that's what the SCA is here to fight for, is not to lose these young kids or these other YouTubers, young or old. We don't want to see them disappear. If they have a love for the hobby, we want to encourage it and we want to keep them going. We want to help them if they're having an issue with a tank, if they're having an issue with a fish. Now with Rack and I, our goals were to get to 1,000 subscribers. Rack has been putting out some content pointing that out. Unfortunately, being sick and having some other issues going on, I haven't really been able to put out a lot. So, I've kind of put out the channel spotlight, which I just released the second one. But, that's our goals. And the Small Channel Alliance is trying to help you achieve your goal as well and bridge that gap between the larger channels and the smaller channels. And I've noticed more now, seeing a lot of people jumping on board with the bigger channels, saying, hey, check out the River Life channel. Everybody, John from KG Tropicals had spoke out and shared the video from Rack. Corey from Aquarium Co-ops had done it. Bob from Steen Aquatics has done it. Jay Wilson, Northfin, I think he's actually shouted that out. So that's kind of what the SCA is about, is getting these little channels noticed, because somebody somewhere wants to see your stuff. They may be starting a new tank that you already have and may want to come to you for tips and ideas so that they're successful. So it's good to see the community getting tighter and getting the recognition, I guess, and it's probably not really the right word, but their channels being noticed. And, that's kind of what it's about. So, with that person disappearing, it's kind of upsetting, but I can only assume, and you know what they say about assume, why this person is no longer about. I don't see him in live chats. I don't see any more content, and that's pretty sad. So with that being said, I know it's kind of a downer of a story, but on a more positive light, and just to show you the effects that we have, whether you're 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers, that we have on people. Now at the Aquatic Experience, I didn't realize it, but I had put out a video on the first day showing some of the stuff that I got in the Hikari bag. And it turns out somebody here in my local area that goes to the same LFS that I go to had seen the video and said, are you going to be there? Are you going back? And I said, I'm here all weekend. They're like, well, cool, hopefully I'll get to meet you. And somewhere along the line, I think we passed, but we were so immersed in what was going on, we didn't see each other. So at any rate, I did reach out to him and said, I'm sorry I didn't get to see you, whatever the case was. I can always meet up to him locally. But it turns out that her daughter had got into the Hikari ping pong ball to win a free betta. So she did win a betta, and she did post it to the hashtag Hikari Betta Toss site, and she actually won whatever it was they were giving away at the time, food or something. So, I congratulated on that and on the picture that they posted on Instagram. And then yesterday, I get a message via Instagram with a question from this person about plants that they picked up and something about snails, and I took the time to, say, you probably picked the snails up on the plants. It's not uncommon. Her concern wasn't going to hurt her fish, and I explained to her, I said, no, some people don't like pest snails. Some people do. Me personally, my 55 community tank, I've got quite a few. I kind of control the population with feeding and also culling, but I use those to feed my peat puffers. So I took the time out to somebody that I just met due to the Aquatic Experience to say, hey, don't worry about them. If you don't mind them, they are kind of beneficial. They eat the excess food, things like that. What things to watch for, what things to avoid, so that her tank doesn't become overrun, and more importantly, that your fish are going to be fine. They're not going to bother your fish. So, that's kind of the light and dark of the fish fam. you know, we've got the opportunity to help one another out regardless. You know, and with that being said, I made a lot of friends at this year's aquatic experience, some lifelong friends. And I think the unique thing about the experience was just sitting at a table, you know, just getting some downtime from all the walking around and stuff, having a soda, cold beverage, whatever it might have been, you know, snacking on something. Somebody has a seat taken up, sit down. And within seconds, we're just talking like two people. You know, didn't matter what the channel was, didn't matter how many subscribers you had. It was just people sitting down in an environment that was positive for us as fish keepers. And it was a beautiful thing because it happened several times over the 3 days that I was there. And the one guy said, well, you know, I really don't put out a whole lot. He says, usually I just put my camera on the tank and let it play while I'm doing water changes with some music in the background. I said, that's cool. I said, because I may come to your channel and pull up one of the 3 videos that you may have up and let it play in the background so I can hear the music while I do my fish tanks. So let's not forget where we all came from. We all started small. Some of us are still relatively small in the grand scheme of things. Some of us are happy to be that way. But I don't want to lose people to lack of interest in their channel. If anything, that the Fish Fam does right is positive, constructive criticism. We're not talking down to anybody, but we're helping them. If they come to us with, how can I do my channel better? Which I actually had somebody post on my local page that they were thinking about starting up a YouTube channel, you know, and, you know, could anybody offer advice? Guess what? I was one of the first ones. Be happy, enjoy what you're doing, and then decide what content you want to put up. Tell us what your channel's about. Tell us what you're about. Tell us about your loves, your hates, whatever it is. And if you ever need help, just message me and I'll try to give you, you know, an opinion, an answer, or I'll put you in touch with somebody else that might even be able to answer it better than I. So folks, just don't forget where you came from. Don't let your hobby turn into a job. And support those that support you. And reach out to people that are just there. You know, in the last several weeks, I've gained quite a few subscribers, and I appreciate that, and I thank each and every one of you. And as Lisa had said in her second live stream, whether it's your first subscriber or it's your 70,000 subscriber, be excited about them all because they took the time out to come to your channel to watch your content. And that's important. That's what continues this Fish Fam growing, expanding, and spanning the globe. So don't forget, you were once one subscriber. You may be 70,000 now, but don't forget. Now, I've seen a lot of big channels that do an awesome job of never forgetting where they came from. And I'm not going to name any. But there are certain ones out there that, you know, love to see people's content, love to interact, answer questions, whatever the case may be. That's what makes the Fish Fam beautiful. So I think at this point I've rambled on enough. I'm going to go home, take some meds, and try to kick the rest of this cold. So again, folks, I hope this video kind of meant something to you, and that you guys will come on out to the Small Channel Alliance folks and get your content out there. Ask questions, any of us. I'm going to talk to Rack because I have an idea to maybe come up with a Facebook page the SCA, where people with small channels can collaborate, post questions, post answers, and kind of give us a central area where we can all really come together. So let's not lose, most importantly, our youth that are out there that want to become a YouTuber, a Fishtuber, and a member of the Fishfam. Let's not forget that they're there. Let's also support our big channels. They need us just as much as we need them. And most of all, let's not forget each other. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Please feel free to share it. Let's get the word out. The SCA is here. We're here to help. We're here to support. Let's bridge that gap between the big channels and the small channels. Let's not get mixed up, lost in the mix. And let's love and respect one another, and more importantly, support each other. This is Rob, Racing's Natural Aquariums, wishing you a blessed day. God bless, and as always, keep those sleeves wet.